Hello everyone, welcome back to the another session in series of learning C programming. So this is the video which is for C tokens. So this topic you can find out in JNTU and OU syllabus of BTech and BE semesters. And if you don't put this name also, since for a programmer it is required to use all this. Okay. Right, now let's see what are C tokens and how we can use this C tokens in C program, because these are required to write a C program. So token is the smallest element of a program that is meaningful to the compiler, and C tokens are identifiers, variables and constants, keywords, data types, strings, special symbols, operators. So this is what actually the strength of C language. As C programming language is having these many concepts, C programmers used by many users to write a program. Now let's talk each and everything in detail. Now let's look into the first identifier. Now, identifiers names given to C entities, names given to C entities. Now, look at this. When I wanted to create a identifier in the program, now I'm creating A as my identifier. Now, when I wanted to create this identifier, and a very most important point is identifiers are looks like the same as variables. Now every variable can be called as an identifier. So that concept will talk in variables. Now as of now I'm going to talk about identifiers. Look at this. We do have some rules to follow to create a identifier. A identifier can consist of capital A to Z or small a to Z and 0 to 9, especially this is underscore symbol. So you can see an identifier with mixture of all or else at least of one, right? So other than this, whatever you are seeing, that is not comes under identifier. Now let us see that I wanted to create this $ABC. Now, as per the rule, a identifier name can be have alphabets of capital letters, small letters. So as I found the small ABC, I can call this as an identifier when when it is not started with the dollar symbol. Fine, because the rules are saying that it can have all this and it can have underscore. No special symbol is given, no special symbol is given. As far as at the rate is dollar is concerned, it is a special symbol and it is not allowed to be in a identifier starting alphabet. Now look at this. This is valid identifier because it started with underscore and James Bond 007. The very most important point is it can start with alphabet or it can start with a number, but it cannot start with a special symbol which is not underscore. So as it is started with the underscore, as it is in the list of identifier, you can consider this as a valid one. And look at this. This is also valid. So when it is not valid, when this underscore is not given, then you can see a space in between of these two. Hence it is not a valid identifier. So it is also valid. Now James underscore Bond 007. J is a capital. It is also a valid identifier. 007 underscore James underscore Bond. It is also valid and any length can be given to a identifier name. And as far as the C is concerned, we will be accepting a variable length of 32 uh, and 81 characters also it can take as a identifier name, but significance will be given for only first 32 characters. So we'll see all these things when we are going to talk about data types. But as of now, we have to keep in mind that identifier is a variable something, and you can create an identifier in the program following of this rules. Okay, so this is all about the identifier. Now the very next is about variables. Now look at this. So what is variable? Variable is, it contains a value, and it stores a value. Name given to a memory location is called as a variable. What is variable? Variable contains a value, it stores a value, and the name given to a memory location. Example, if you look at this, quantity, amount, these are the variables. Okay, now let's see this. Now look like, I mean, see this one, this is looks like a jar, right? So I can write jar, I can write jar, I can write jar, right? All these are indicating or representing jar. So now, as C programming is a case sensitive, all these three are different. These are not same. This is one variable, this is other variable, this is other variable. Because C programming is a case sensitive language, alphabets are to be represented capitals or smalls as far as variable name is concerned. But you have to consider this as a another variable, and this is also another, and this is also another. So that is what actually a variable. So altogether, a variable definition is variable, it contains a value which varies from time to time, and memory location will be given to store that variable. So this is what we have to keep in mind. And the very most important point is, every variable can be called as an identifier. Every variable can be called as an identifier, right? Now jar can be called as an identifier, or else quantity can be called as an identifier, amount can be called as an identifier. Every variable can be called as an identifier, but all the identifiers cannot be called as a variables, because I can call at the rate as an identifier. A special symbol underscore can be called as an identifier, right? But all these cannot be called as a variable, and you can see 0 to 9 can be called as an identifiers, because we can identify by looking into this one. So all these cannot be called as a variable. Variable means what? It should contain a value, it should store a value, right? So this is what a variable is. So next video will going to make on constants, right? So this video we taught about identifiers and variables, the differences in between these two. Thank you all.